outside, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I'm getting a little cabin fever being inside today. So Talia and I are gonna cross the street over to this very scenic area, and we're gonna work on some sketches today, right?
Yep.
All you're gonna need is either, if you've got this drawing board, this is great, but if you don't have this, just find a hard surface like Miss Alfaro, so this is foam core, or you could get a piece of cardboard and 2 clips. Come on, let's go. Ready?
Yep.
All right. You know, Kyla, as I'm walking over there, I'm noticing some really cool things that you can use to create, still life. And these little nuts are absolutely beautiful when you open them up. Check them out. Hey, look what else I found. I use these palm fronds all the time for studies, and they're really marvelous to work with. I'll show you one that I just finished a couple hours ago. Talia, I think we found our spot. Look at how fabulous this is.
Yep.
Under a tree, we have shade, the wind blowing. Isn't it wonderful to live in South Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and to boot, there's a really great space, right? A bench. Yeah. All right, Talia, let's make it happen. All right, so we'll sit this way.
Ms. Alfaro, this is a really good assignment because all you need is paper and a number 2 pencil.
That's right. So let's take a look at what we see around us. Well, we live in a typical suburban Miami neighborhood, so there's a lot of homes that look very similar. However, what I really do love about this neighborhood is that it has a really nice lake, and it's got some interesting trees. Palm trees are always fun to draw. Let's take a look. Oh, look at that gorgeous bougainvillea tree. That's one of my favorite plants.
So I just want to draw the palm tree.
Yeah, well, they're right there. They're in a great space to look at, and I love how the wind is blowing all the palm fronds. So let's get started. Let's see where our horizon line is. Now, horizon line is, my students know this, where the sky and the ground meet, and this allows for you to develop your perspective. But for today, what we're going to end up doing is creating a basic horizon line. So let's start with that. It's a little windy today, so bear with us. Very, very lightly. Now, everything we do are what we call preliminary lines. So everything we do, we want to start off with, we must really control the amount of pressure that we use in our drawing. One of the first things that I discover, and I remember even as a young artist, is that most kids feel like they want to press down super hard with the pencil. And then when you apply the pencil line, what happens is it's so dark that there's no room to erase or modify. Do you want to now create one palm tree, or do you want to create the whole family of them? Okay, so let's count. We got 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So, and she's a mathematician too.
Yeah, actually.
Okay. So then what we're going to do then is we're going to take a look at those palm trees, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Let's start with 3 first, because it's kind of overwhelming to start with all the rest. All right? Now, when you begin to start with the palm tree, you want to start again with the very, very soft lines. Remember, anything in nature is organic. And when we worked with cherry blossoms last year, the kids really got a sense of how a tree is formed. It starts very thick at the bottom, and then it gradually gets smaller or thinner and thinner on the top.
Okay, and then you want to bow your lines. So it creates a 3D effect. Okay, right about here is where the top area of the tree begins. So now this is the fun part. What you do is you begin to make your palm fronds. Okay, okay? That's kind of the backbone of your palm frond. Now you want to really, really look at each palm frond. It's hard because the wind is blowing, but it's really fun to kind of capture movement with drawing. So what I would do is maybe, it's almost like drawing a feather in a way. And, you know, kind of dance with your pencil.
I have no reason to be carefree. No, no, no. Until I take a trip to the other side of town.
Now I have all my preliminary pencil lines. We brought out some pastels. These are really fun to work with. They're kind of a mess because we've just been using them the last 2 weeks like crazy. However, what I'd love to show you is just how to blend some of the pastel. Make sure that your pastels are nice and clean. So I like to use a piece of paper and rub off some of the yucky part.
Yep.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay. Now, don't do that though. Not on here. Don't do it on the board because it's all forever on the board. Okay, so we're gonna drag some of the color onto our trunk of our palm tree. And I'm gonna layer some colors. So what we're gonna do is just blend them. And we always think that, you know, the trunk is brown, but really if you analyze the color, there's lots of different hues. You're going to notice that there's even a little bit of blue going on in the trunk. Although I don't have all the colors I'd love to have here today, you can experiment definitely with blending the colors, and this creates an organic feel. Now notice how Miss Alfaro made kind of like a messy area here. The beauty of pastel is you can simply erase it. You can clean it up. Same with the palm fronds. There's a lot of cool tones in there. However, there is quite a bit of yellow. So I'm going to begin to add the lightest color first, and then I'm going to layer. It's really important to seriously look at what you're drawing and not draw what you think you're drawing. I know that kind of at first doesn't make sense, but truly what you really should be doing is analyzing each line of whatever it is that you are creating. Oop, this one has a little bit of... Okay, you can cut. So I decided to add a Miami flair to mine. And because we're studying the Impressionists, I experimented a lot with color. I overlapped different colors. I applied complementary colors like orange next to this very beautiful blue here. And what happens is complementary colors create a sense of excitement, and it draws the eye to that particular area. As you can see, a lot of the imagery that you see here are just simple basic shapes. And the last thing I did was to really try to capture the wind that's been happening all day today. When creating this assignment, you can start with pencil, you can add watercolor, you could work in marker. We had pastels, so that was really fun. It's really endless what you can do with a landscape or this process of coming outside and enjoying your surroundings. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great week.